Following Trump's comments regarding his distrust of U.S. intelligence organizations and his trust of Vladimir Putin over these intelligence organizations, Jim Clapper and John Brennan appeared on Jake Tapper's show and shared their thoughts on this whole debacle. And here's what they had to say. Take a look.
Putin is committed to undermining our system, our democracy, and our whole process. And to try to paint it in any other way is, I think, astounding and in fact poses a peril to this country. Apart from that, something we don't think about too much is the fact that the Russians are embarked on a very aggressive modernization of their strategic nuclear forces, to include a very capable and scary counter space program. They only have one adversary in mind when they do this. And oh, by the way, the Russians are in abject violation of the INF Treaty, the Intermediate Nuclear Forces Treaty. So the Russians do not harbor good intentions toward the United States. And there shouldn't be any illusions or any ambiguity about that. And our president fosters that ambiguity.
Yeah, but does Trump owe the Russians money though? Because in my opinion, that is the heart of this controversy. What are Trump's intentions? What are the possible conflicts of interest?
So look, if you, let's just flip to the other side, because this is what I love doing. And as a person who's empathetic, you should think about what if the shoe was on the other foot. So if we had a Democratic leader and he said, well, the Russians are in violation of all these treaties. And by the way, the US Congress has passed sanctions against Russia. And Trump now has gone for about a month and a half and not imposed those sanctions. He's just not doing it. It's unbelievable. It's almost as if he owes the guy something, right?
Right.
He will not go counter to the wishes of his boss, almost under any circumstance. But anyway, if you had a Democrat who came in and the Russians are doing all this, and then the Republican former intelligence guys go, well, look, we're worried about Russian interference. And the Democrat, Obama, Bernie, whoever goes, no, I trust Putin. I trust Putin completely. He told me twice, and now I believe him, and I believe him more than our own intelligence guys because he's Putin. I'd be like, whoa, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Right, and I'd say, wait, there's something wrong here.
Right, and I think that the difference in response is interesting here because, if you go back to Obama's administration, we were not kind to Obama. We criticized him where he deserved to be criticized. When that whole NSA leak came out with Edward Snowden, we were highly critical of him. We were highly critical when the Affordable Care Act was being worked out in Congress. I mean, it's just the right thing to do. It's not about party identity. It's about making sure that you criticize your party and your candidate when they're doing wrong. And in this case, Trump is like completely immune to criticism from Republicans.
And for those two guys, Clapper and Brennan that are in that segment, I've criticized over and over. So I don't trust them wholeheartedly. I think that they have been greatly misleading on a number of issues, including warrantless wiretapping. So I'm not a naive guy who goes, oh, well, it's an intelligence guy. He must be telling the truth, right? But to say that you just unilaterally believe Putin over them with no evidence just because Putin wouldn't tell a lie, that's you might have mental issues.
So let's quickly hear from John Brennan and what he has to say about Trump getting played by Putin.
At one point, President Trump said he thinks Vladimir Putin is insulted by the suggestion and the conclusion by the intelligence agencies that Russia interfered in the US election. What do you make of that, his bringing up that Putin feels insulted?
Well, I think Mr. Putin is very clever in terms of playing to Mr. Trump's interest in being flattered. And also, I think Mr. Trump is, for whatever reason, either intimidated by Mr. Putin, afraid of what he could do or what might come out as a result of these investigations. So it's very worrisome, and I think it sends a worrisome, very disturbing signal to our allies and partners who are concerned about Russian interference in their democratic processes as well. So it's either naivete, ignorance, or fear in terms of what Mr. Trump is doing vis-a-vis the Russians.
No, it's over, man. They're going to get Trump. Putin is his boss. Every interaction, it's the clearest thing I've ever seen. In fact, if a lower level employee did that to his actual boss, it'd be embarrassing. Like if you walk into the room, oh, Mr. Putin, of course you're right, Mr. Putin. And especially a guy who's a bully, who bullies everyone else around. He sees the Russian leader and all of a sudden, he's the biggest cuck you've ever seen. He's like, oh yes, please, Melania, whatever you want, please, please. Of course you're right about everything, right? What Brennan referred to there is that, hey, is he afraid that Putin is going to reveal something? Yeah, that's the former head of the CIA. Okay, the Russians definitely have compromat on Trump, and
that's what it seems like.
Yeah, there's no way that Trump grovels like that unless Putin has something on him that is devastating. Trump is not a groveler; he's a bully. That's not what he does. And so when he grovels, you know, that guy's got something on him. Na, 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 na. All right, it's a little premature, but hold for it.
It's not coming soon enough. Like the slow and steady drip is driving me crazy. So we'll see how this develops.
If you like this video, you probably like independent media. The best way to support independent media, become a member of the Young Turks. tytnetwork.com/join.